Okay, so question 3a. This is a question about the uncatalogued biological treasure houses. Okay, so treasure house, really what we're talking about is a biological hotspot, and they give the example here of tropical rainforests. So now we need to outline the relative importance of tropical forests in contributing to global biodiversity and explain why they have developed such high rates of biodiversity. So the relative importance, they have very high biodiversity, and we might mention biodiversity hotspots, which are areas of the planet where biodiversity is high, but perhaps also threatened. So why is the biodiversity so high in a tropical rainforest? First of all, we can think about succession. A rainforest is a climax community, and therefore it's going to be very old. So there's been time to develop adaptations and the community of organisms that live there. Second of all, because it's highly productive, so we're going to mention its productivity. It's highly productive because they tend to be near the equator, so they have a lot of sunlight, and they have high rainfall. So those are the two things required for plants to grow. And so they're going to grow a lot. And because of that, you're going to have a lot of organisms kind of all cramped in to the same space because they've all got plenty of resources. So instead of light or rain or water being the limited resource, space becomes the limited resource. I'll just use LR for limited resource. That means that these guys are all competing with each other, and competition can actually drive natural selection. If one of these can have an adaptation that will allow it to grow taller faster, it's more likely to be able to set seeds through producing flowers than its counterparts around it, which are setting flowers down here and a little bit later. And so this one might get its seeds out first, and so be the first to recolonize this little patch of land here. If one of them becomes more efficient at photosynthesizing, and so perhaps can photosynthesize in lower light conditions, maybe it doesn't need to grow as tall, and so stays quite small and grows in the shaded area. And over time, these are going to become separate species driven apart by competition. So we've got a couple of outlines, and we've got now some explanations, the time, large community. You can have quite complex food webs, partly because the biodiversity is so high, but also because of this productivity. And the productivity is another element of our explanation, and also then our competition and natural selection.